looking trophy.
Well, the number one PlayStation podcast in the Oceanias. My name's Dylan Blake. Joining me, as always, Ashley Hobley.
Hey, Dylan. Excited to be here. Another week of PlayStation news.
I mean, I got stuff this week. The stuff that's happened. Things.
You played.
They won something.
How many more VR games did you play?
I actually don't think I played any last week. I don't know where the fuck my week went. To be completely honest, what the fuck happened last week? It was a write-off. I had work. I had stock take at work and everything like that, and it was fucking. Yeah. I think it threw me through the ringer, as they say.
Too much of actual reality.
Too much of reality.
Virtual reality. I
think there was like a 12, 13 hour day there that just fucked me up for several days. But that's fine. Anyway, we're on the other side. We don't even talk about normal work. We need to talk about video games and things and stuff. But yes, I do want to play more video games because I still got, as I mentioned it last week, I brought it and I was trying to play some before starting recording. No, I still haven't played any, but I still want to jump in and play some of that the Until Dawn one, the whatchamacallit one, the Rush of Blood, but not Rush of Blood, the sequel to Rush of Blood, the spiritual successor to Rush of Blood.
Yeah,
whatever that's called. Anyway. And then I applied. What was I going to say? And then I saw today come across the inbox. They were like, "Hey, that game, Kill It With Fire, the VR version." I'm like, "Cool." I did play the PC version of that. It was kind of silly. I think it would be funny in VR. Give me that as well. So the VR games don't stop stopping, is what I'd say. In the trophy cabinet this week, gold trophy for Sony winning Best Publisher of 2022 according to Metacritic, and we hit a platinum for a potential Spider-Man 2 release date leak. But firstly, from Pushware, you must beat Horizon Forbidden West to play PS5 DLC Burning Shores. After a period of uncertainty over whether the DLC would even make its April release date, Sony is now fully tooting the Horizon Forbidden West Burning Shores horn. Pre-orders are now live on the PlayStation Store. But one key detail you might not know is you need to beat the game's main campaign before you start the PS5 expansion. Burning Shores is a direct follow-up to the story of Horizon Forbidden West, picking up where the plot left off in the main quest named Singularity. Guerrilla Games has highlighted this important factor in a video, which doesn't contain any new footage. What it does tell us, though, is that Burning Shores begins when Aloy receives a call from Silence. While it was fairly obvious he was going to feature in DLC, it's nice to know the late, great Lance Reddick has another voice acting performance for us to enjoy. So how do you think it's, knowing that this is fully, we're a PlayStation podcast, the game's months and months old now. As far as I'm concerned, spoilers for Horizon Forbidden West are fully past. If you haven't played it by this stage and you're listening to a PlayStation podcast, I assume you just don't care enough. So,
but
sorry,
if you do care, you can get it on PS Plus. Yeah,
it's on PlayStation Plus. Yeah, and if you want to skip ahead, time codes are on the podcast, so you can skip ahead if you want. But
yes,
so given where the game ends, and you've got this, from what I can even remember, you've got the people, the Carrie Moss people coming back from space or whatever the weird thing was, and then how it seemed like, oh, we got to prepare and shit's, like it very much like
whatever was chasing them is coming to Earth.
Yeah, so now that's coming, and it had the game ends with this whole, oh shit, we got to get prepared, like they could be here any minute now, sort of thing. Do you think it's weird that they're like, here's a DLC adventure?
No, I think that makes sense, because obviously the idea of the DLC is you're going to go to Hollywood to try and recruit people
to come fight.
Yeah, so Silence is going to be like, hey, Aloy, there's some cool people down here. We should go talk to them. There's some information. There's some subsystem thing.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, with the guy or whatever, yeah.
Do you also think, because none of the trailers for Burning Shores so far have really done
story
said
stuff
much? Do you think it is because it's just so heavily focused on the post game that they can't show?
I think that's probably why.
Yeah,
which also doesn't make a lot of sense. Why? Well, yeah, I guess it's interesting. Like, you could probably show story stuff that doesn't spoil the ending.
No, exactly. So or get away of showing a little bit.
Yeah. Hint at what it could possibly be, but no, it's all gameplay, pretty much.
Yeah. So. I was just flicking through this trailer here. There is a one shot here where they do have the full crew, including the Aloy, whatever she's a clone of.
Omega?
Omega, yeah. She's there. So, I mean, if you haven't played it and you're watching, you're like, those two look awfully alike.
Yeah, they
like,
kind of look similar.
they look so kind of similar. What's the story of that? So, are you excited for the DLC? It's not far away, a couple weeks, 19th of April.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's the next big PlayStation thing. It'll be nice to jump back in. Gave us a good, it's like, hey, you should jump back in, like do a couple of missions, like fly around a bit. I'm like, yeah, I probably should. That's something I could do in the next couple of weeks. I didn't platinum the game, so there's like a bunch of missions and other stuff that's still left undone. Yeah, maybe, it's good that they're giving this warning, unlike the last DLC, which is like, it's interesting because obviously the last DLC was like, you had to do certain things before you could unlock it and that kind of stuff, and it was at a certain point in the game, and you had to talk to certain people and stuff, so for it to be like clear cut, finish the game, and then this will happen. You can talk to Silence, and then you'll go to this other map, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I presume it's a fairly straightforward way to surely just to boot up DLC and non-convoluted. So
yeah, it'll just be a matter of getting back into the rhythm of
playing the game.
Because
that was my problem with Frozen Wilds. Yeah, that was my problem when I did the Frozen Wilds thing and I did on stream. I just had to drop the difficulty down to super easy because I couldn't remember how to play the game.
Yeah,
I was just dying. I'm like, I can't remember what's good against this. I can't remember what so
you should probably have like a tutorial. It's like, here's how to do everything again.
A quick rundown. It's like it's a hard thing. DLCs, expansions like this, especially when a game has not so like Horizon has like a super complicated combat system, but it does have a system,
a certain amount of depth.
Yeah. There's a certain amount of depth to what elemental bows and particular things that when you're playing it, when you're going through the rhythm, you pick up, and when you're playing it like sort of every night or every couple of nights or even once a week, you're sort of in the zone. But then when you go months and months without playing, you try and pick it back up, you're like, what the fuck am I what am I doing? I can't remember. So yeah, will be interesting. So all right, big news story that sort of broke this morning as we're recording that is sort of wild, but Polygon writes MultiVersus is going offline, relaunch plan for 2024. They write MultiVersus, the multiplayer platform fighting game from Warner Brothers and Player First Games, is being pulled from digital stores on April 4th and will go offline, meaning it will become largely unplayable in June. The developer announced Monday that it's pausing updates and taking the game offline for a relaunch of MultiVersus, which is targeted for early 2024. Tony Hyun, co-founder and CEO of Player First Games, announced the temporary closure of MultiVersus and update on the game's website. It's the first official update that Player First has provided since November, when the developer brought Marvin the Martin and Season 2 content to the game.
Marvin the Martian, sorry. What did I say? Marvin the Martin.
Since then, the game's remaining players have remained largely in the dark about the fate of MultiVersus and have been desperate for new content. He can address the game's noticeable lack of updates in his announcement. Quote, "We know there's still a lot of work to do. As a result, we have a clearer view of what we need to focus on, specifically the content cadence of new characters, maps, and modes to give you more ways to enjoy the game, along with updated netcode and more matchmaking improvements. We'll also be reworking the progression system based on your feedback and looking at new ways for you to connect with your friends in the game. To do this the right way, we'll be closing MultiVersus open beta on June 25th, 2023. As part of the process, we'll be pausing updates and taking the game offline as we prepare for the launch of MultiVersus, which we're targeting for early 2024. Ash, did you remember that MultiVersus was in open beta?
No. I thought it had been released. We're in this weird era where early access open betas, it's all a blur. I mean, in my opinion, if you're up to your second season pass, you're released.
Yeah.
Or at least you're in early access,
Yeah.
Not open beta. I mean, this is an interesting story. Obviously the player base has dropped it off considerably. The game has been, like they said, very little details have been released since an update back in November. So obviously they've been doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes, and I'm sure they've been inundated with questions. So I guess it's good that they're giving this update. And Yeah, it's interesting because it's kind of a similar thing to the guys over at Knockout City who are like, we're going to shut the game down because we need, we can't be maintaining the game while also trying to do all these improvements. And
At least they weren't in open beta.
That's true. They sold their game though. So
yeah, they sold the game. People brought it and they ran it for a while. They were like, "Nah, guys, to improve the game, we've got to stop working on this one so we can commit to
something better." So yeah, I mean, that's cool. I guess 6-7 months to recalibrate the game. Yeah, I mean, it was fun while what was there. I mean, I'm excited.
Fun while it lasted.
It was fun while it's like, yeah. I haven't played it in like a few months, so
I've got till June.
Yeah, I've got till June to get the season pass. Like, so, yeah, I just kind of feel bad for all the people who invested a bunch of time and money into it. But hopefully they're coming back next year. I mean. Yeah, it's an interesting one whether they actually will come back or not, because it's kind of weird, this type of game development. So
yes, wild. I can't say anything like this has happened before. I mean, stuff with early access and like people who like the whole like, do people get refunds? Do they not? Like,
not for this extended amount of period. I mean, everybody points at Final Fantasy 14 for like finding a way to come back. So there is always hope, but
that game was dead,
and it was reborn. Yeah,
and it was reborn. It was a realm reborn, some would say.
Some would say that. The realm was reborn, yeah. So whether this can have a similar kind of thing, because obviously there's a lot of potential there. This first season was very strong with a bunch of characters and regular updates and that kind of stuff. So whether they quickly learned they couldn't maintain that and just need a longer runway to prepare the content that they need. Like they need to be like a couple of months ahead of what they're going to do and licensing and that kind of stuff. So yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see whether it actually comes back, because obviously it won a bunch of awards and that kind of stuff. So it's a good game. It's just, how do you keep a game like that alive with that model? Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird. For people wondering, they did write, all progress and previously earned or purchased content will carry over when MultiVersus returns in early 2024. This includes unused Gleamian Battle Pass tokens, character tickets, and any other in-game items. All content will carry over to the game next year.
Yeah. And technically, you can still play it, like, locally. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, like the training lab and that stuff will be open.
We'll see.
I mean, you can play.
We'll see.
You could play your friends locally in the training lab, I think.
We'll see. Wait until you can't. You'll boot up the game, you go to click X to get to the main menu, and they're like, nah. Nah, dude. Can't even do local. But yeah, definitely one of the most interesting beta / early access type of things that's happened in recent memory.
Again, the most shocking thing is that it was still in open beta.
Yeah, it's so funny because I saw a screenshot on Twitter where someone's like, this was at the start of the game, and everyone had to click, yeah, they accept it, or whatever. I'm like, who reads that shit? B, who the fuck remembers that? Like,
yeah.
I guarantee, I want to know the person.
I mean, that's at the start of every video game, and not every single video game is in open beta.
Yeah. I want to know the person who wasn't shocked by this. The person who wasn't caught off guard, and like, what the fuck? So, point me in their direction. Because everyone this morning, as far as I could see on Twitter, everyone's going, that shit was in beta? They're in season 3 or season 2, whatever they're up to. Yeah. What the fuck is going on? VG247 writes, Microsoft says it hasn't pulled any games from PlayStation following recent Redfall comments. After recent comments from Redfall game designer Harvey Smith about Microsoft not wanting Redfall on PS5, the company has stated it hasn't, quote, pulled any games from PlayStation. In a recent interview with IGN France, Smith spoke about the transition to being owned by Microsoft, noting that once acquired, quote, was a change with a capital C. They came in and said, no PlayStation. We're focusing on Xbox, PC, and Game Pass, end quote. This comes after repeated pushes from Sony that Microsoft is taking games away from PlayStation. Now, in a statement to Eurogamer, Microsoft has said it isn't doing that. as evidenced by Bethesda published titles like Deathloop and Ghostwire Tokyo still being on PlayStation 5. Quote, we haven't pulled any games from PlayStation. In fact, we've expanded our footprint of games that we've shipped on Sony's PlayStation since our acquisition of ZeniMax. And the first 2 games we shipped after closing were PlayStation 5 exclusives. We did the same thing since our closing of Minecraft as we extended the reach of that franchise. All of the games that were available on PlayStation when we acquired ZeniMax in March 2021 are still available on PlayStation, and we've continued to do content updates on PlayStation PC. We have always said that the future decisions of whether to distribute ZeniMax games for other consoles will be made on a case-by-case basis. VG247 continues with the obvious thing of saying, now obviously both Deathloop and Ghostwire were only console exclusives for a limited time. The former now available on Xbox and later coming to the platform soon. So there's more talking about titles like Starfield, which is exclusive to Xbox on console, but a PlayStation release was never announced anyway, so whether Microsoft is really taking anything from Sony here is up for debate. What do you reckon? Was Redfall, if they were like in the background developing this, etc., working on it, was there a world where it may have been coming to PlayStation?
Yes, assuming it was in development before the acquisition went through, which I assume is the case.
It was 100% development before.
I mean, in that case, there was definitely planned to go on everything. Like, why would you make a multiplayer co-op game and not want to be available on every single platform? You know what I mean? Unless you're a console exclusive, which it happens to be now. Yeah. I mean, again, the same case with Starfield. Like, everybody expected that to come to PlayStation before the deal went through. I imagine Bethesda were working on it for PlayStation, or like had plans to bring it to the platform. But the acquisition deal went through, and they went, no, it's going to be exclusive. So,
yeah.
Same with Senua. I assume that same thing. So many of these games, I imagine. I don't think so.
I reckon Hellblade is. I'd say Hellblade only happened because of Microsoft. I reckon their money. I reckon the money.
I'm sure it helped
makes that game
and probably changed the game scale greatly.
But I don't think they started development until Xbox brought them for that one. Whereas we know that Redfall, what the fuck's it called? Redfall and Starfield, they were both in development prior to the acquisition, 110%. So it's not even something I care about, because as we spoke about when the acquisition happened, Xbox, Microsoft, whatever, like keeping these games exclusive and off PlayStation, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. That fine.
Makes sense.
It's just a weird. It's just a weird thing to do, this whole weird press release where they're like, we'll put games like Deathloop and stuff on there. I'm like,
you were contractually obligated.
I was like, you were contractually obligated because there was a signed deal to say that it was PlayStation exclusive, at least for a limited amount of time. So you were you had to for those two. They're not good examples. We're talking about when you purchased Bethesda, was there a test kit for a PS5 version of Redfall, which there probably was, and you said, hey, stop trying to make the game work on PlayStation. It doesn't even matter. Just focus on this, which, again, that's fine. I kind of would have preferred if they just said that.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. Like, just put out a statement and be like, yes.
But that's because this is in the wake of the Activision Blizzard thing going on at the moment, that they have to like, no, we don't pull video games that were,
Yeah. But I mean, technically it was never announced for PlayStation, so it's not like they pulled it.
Yeah.
It's like, were they developing it and probably testing it at the same time on multiple platforms, including PlayStation? Yeah, of course they were, because they were expecting to release it on multiple platforms.
Yeah.
Yeah. Starfield would have been the same.
I mean, in that story, you could highlight all the Xbox games, the Minecraft games you released on PlayStation, and that kind of stuff, and could have highlighted that a bit more and that kind of stuff.
We still put out Minecraft games. I'm pretty sure that was also part of the deal. Like,
we haven't pulled any games off the store, is what, You should use this opportunity to talk about all the games that you've released on PlayStation.
Yeah.
Since the deal went through. I mean, yeah.
We fucking put out all the games on... We put out all the Minecraft games on PlayStation. I'm like, so Minecraft Dungeons? Yes,
Yeah.
that one. Cool. You mean as part of the deal when you purchased whatever the studio's name is? Fuck, I can't even remember. Mine
Mojang?
Studios, Craft, Mojang, that's it. When you purchased Mojang and the deal was you had to keep Minecraft on everything, that was part of the deal. Like it's a known thing.
Yep.
It was part of the deal.
So what they're saying is they do follow their contractually obligated requirements.
Which is fine. Like, just don't try and fucking twist it until you, make you sound like the
good guys.
the good guys, yeah, or whatever. The six axis writes, actor leaks the Marvel Spider-Man 2 release date. Tony Todd, the very first Candyman, and also the voice of Venom in Marvel Spider-Man 2 from Insomniac Games, has made a fake pass on social media. Faux pas. Oh yeah, true. I read that. I missed the pass. I was like, that's a weird thing. Faux pas on social media and told everyone that when the game is coming out. According to Todd, the Spider-Man 2 release date will be in September this year, and it will be preceded by a massive advertising campaign. Since his tweet, which he has not deleted, Todd has tried to backtrack on his comments and suggest that it was all a fever dream brought on by jet lag. The Spider-Man 2 release date leak does line up with an announcement from creative director Brian Insler on the PS blog last December, where he said, quote, what a year it's been for PlayStation Studios here at Insomniac Games. We've been in absolute awe of the work of our peers. Congratulations, everyone, on a successful 2022. And here's the next year being just as exciting as we continue to get Marvel Spider-Man 2 ready for release next fall. Guess what, Ash? Fall is in September. If you live in America. Whoa.
Crazy.
Yeah, the game's coming out in September. I'm shocked. Are you shocked?
No, I'm not shocked. I think we'd all speculated that's probably when it was around that period of time is when it was going to come out. So, yeah, I mean, and it's also unsurprising that, he would be the one to kind of drop the ball, but, maybe it's not. Maybe it's another goofy voice actor situation when the game's not coming out for another 6 years.
Maybe, but you know why I reckon he's like, if he's saying stuff about the advertising campaigns, because like Sony's potentially already booked him in for to do stuff,
appearances and that kind of stuff.
And stuff like that in the lead up to release, or so. Yeah, that's the potential difference. Because the thing is, he's Venom, right? He's also I want to say big actor because he's not like fucking Tom Cruise. He's a known actor, right? Especially if I know who is Candyman, right? Like he's in a bunch of other horror things too. So having him being in the game's a big deal to some people. They haven't advertised Venom. They've had one trailer, a little hint at it. I think a big part of the advertising is going to become about Venom. So you're going to have him in a lot of marketing and behind the scenes and whatever else. So yeah, pick a day. September. Fuck, you're really putting
September 15th.
September 8th.
There we go.
I'll go a week before you. You heard it here, folks.
You've heard it here secondhand from Tony Todd.
Last news story for the week. Metacritic has released its annual video game publisher rankings. Right, press start. There are a few things that generate buzz in the gaming industry more than review scores, with one other great example being arguments over brand loyalty. So what better way to spend the end of a busy week, writes Kieran, than to sit down and have a nice cup of tea and a big list of video game publishers ranked by the review scores of everything they published in 2022.
Thing. So you said September 5th, right?
No, 8th.
September 8th. Do you know what come out September 6th?
No.
Starfield.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So go head to head that week.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not backing down. That makes sense.
All right. Continue.
So over at the thing the Metacritic publishers from there. Metacritic ranks publishers from worst to best on this list based on a point system calculated according to the following four factors. So they said average Metacritic for all games released in 2022. 150 possible points were awarded at 1.5 times the average Metacritic score. 2% percentage of scored products with good reviews, Metacritic score of at least 75, 100 possible points. Example, 80% good equals 80 points. 3, percentage of scored products with bad reviews, 49 or lower. In this case, a lower percentage is better, 100 possible points. Example, 20% equals bad equals 80 points. 4, number of great titles, Metascore of 90 or higher, minimum of 7 reviews, awarded as 5 bonus points for each distinctive title with 90 plus score. So they did a big post. They went over like literally every publisher. There's like a page there if you click onto the Metacritic list. I think the second page where they've got like a bunch of publishers just tied in second place or some weird shit. Let me open it. I think it was the second page. Yeah, because it starts at Playway Ultimate Games, and then the second page they're like, here's 44 to 30. Like here's just a bunch. So I'll just do the top 10, of which spoilers PlayStation 1, but
is that why we're talking about it?
That's why we're talking about it, yeah. So number 10,
Hooray.
Devolver Digital had an average Metacritic score of 78.3. Humble Games, average Metascore of 76.8. Number 8, Annapurna Interactive, average score of 79.2. Obviously, the difference there is also the weighted with the amount of games they released, etc., etc., etc. Number 7, Sega Atlas, average score 79.3. Number 6, Capcom, 78.6. Take-Two Interactive, 78.9. Focus Entertainment, 80. Number 3, Activision Blizzard, 76.5. Number 2, Paradox Interactive, 81.8. And number 1, Sony Interactive Entertainment with an average Metacritic score of 85.6. Do you think this is a worthwhile bragging right? Do you reckon this does anything at Sony headquarters to know that they're the highest reviewed publisher? Do you reckon they're pleased by this? Or
I mean, I don't think they care too much. You know, they already know they're number 1, so
yeah. I mean, I feel like it's, I don't know, it's one of those things where because obviously they put Metacritic scores and like reviews and stuff in trailers, and like look at our Metacritic score. I'm like, where do you put this? If you was to use this as advertising somewhere, do you put this in the next trailer for the Horizon DLC? They say from the
Metacritic's publisher
number 1 publisher of 2022. Like what's how can
nobody really cares about publishers except for, well, at least not for the top 3. Not for the big 3. I don't think.
Yeah.
Speaking of, where in the other 2 on the list?
Let's have a look. Let's go down. Where are they? Hey. Number I can't even see them.
Looks like number 12 is Nintendo with average Metacritic of 78.6.
Surprised it's not high, to be completely honest, but yeah. Where the fuck's Xbox though? I can't even think of Microsoft. Did they fall off the list?
You know what it probably is, Dylan? Didn't release any games last year, so can't get a score.
Oh shit. It's actually true. They didn't do enough games to get a score. I was like legit looking for them. But I think that's legit why. I do think that's actually why. Because they probably published like what, 1 or 2 games?
Or none.
Or none? Yeah. Oh shit. Even fucking Atari's in at number 14. All right, let's see.
Their console's way dead.
Yeah, exactly. So what the fuck's their excuse? There's some wild like random publishers in here too where you're like, this stuff.
Brad Metallica, not the worst.
No, not the worst. So looking for this list though. So when it's interesting, like when you look at like the full breakdown. So you look at something like Annapurna Interactive. So last year they were ranked 18. This year they're ranked 8. So you can see like where they've climbed up a bunch. They had 12 scored products, 75% good, 0% bad. They had none games in the great or better category, and then they get a total score for that. It's like it is like like not to do it in like a console-y, war-y or whatever sort of way. It's like sort of interesting to be able to look back and be like, okay, well, out of everything you like as a company put out, published, you know, what's the thing? So Sony last year was ranked number 2. So they went from 2 to the first. I can't remember who was on there last year, but doesn't really matter. So then they had 15 products this year. 100% were rated good, 0 bad. And then they had 2 games in the great or plus category. So in our publisher ranking, Sony finished just behind Microsoft last year. So they had a negative 40% fall. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
So putting in work, yeah. So the publisher's Sony's worst ranked game last year was MLB The Show 22, which had a Metascore of 77, and that was the worst score.
Wow.
Pretty good.
Pretty good. Yeah.
Pretty good. All right. That'll do it for this week's episode of Platinum Explosion. Of course, let us know in the comments, the Discord or the Twitters, whatever, I don't care. ExplosionNetwork.com/Twitter takes you to our Twitters. ExplosionNetwork.com/Discord takes you to our Discord. And if you like the show or you want to support ExplosionNetwork.com, you can do that. ExplosionNetwork.com/support takes you to our Ko-fi page where you can donate a little as $1 or set up a monthly recurring payment to help support us. And until next week, remember, every trophy counts, except for the one I was playing. This buddy really wanted to try and get the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 Platinum, and I finally got on and tried to help him do that last night. We gave up. One of the trophies was too hard, and we gave up. So now he's 1 trophy away from a Platinum, and he basically that got yeeted off his console, deleted. Is 1 trophy away. It'll forever rest in peace. So every trophy counts except for that one. Fuck that one.
What was the trophy?
You had to beat like a certain mission, co-op like mission, without setting off any alarms or being seen or like anything like that. So yeah, it was pretty hard. It was pretty hard.
Okay.
You used to be able to cheese it. They patched it out.
Yeah,
so they fucked us. Now you gotta do it properly.
Terrible.
That's bullshit.
Now you gotta have actual skill.
Now you gotta have actual skill. Too old for that shit.
Yeah.